So, today we are going to discuss exercise of chapter 8 motion science class 9, in that question number 6. So, let's see what's our question number 6. Figure X shows the distance time graph of three objects A, B, C. Study the graph and answer the following questions. This graph is of distance time. This means distance time graph. It's the distance time graph. And there are four questions given to us which we have to solve. Which are they? Let's see. So there are four questions. Let's see the first one, which is A. Which of the three is traveling the fastest? B. Are all three meet ever at the same point on the road? C. How far C traveled when B passes A? Number D. How far B traveled by the time it passes C? So let us see how to solve. So let's see the first one, A. This A question, which of the three is traveling the fastest? They have asked that from which of these threes which object is traveling the fastest. So the answer will be, since the slope of the line B is greatest, B is traveling at the fastest speed. Means the slope of this graph is traveling fastest, and these other lines are traveling at slow speed. Means our answer will be, since the slope of line B is the greatest, B is traveling at the fastest speed. Okay, so let's see the B question. Are all three ever at the same point on the road? Means they are asking that all the 3 points are ever meeting at the same point. Let's see the solution. Since the 3 lines do not intersect at single point, means these lines are not intersecting at any common point. Means this slope B is intersecting at these points, but these points are traveling in the other line. Means when B passes the line C, A was traveling in other line. When B passes A line, the C was traveling in the line. So these 3 lines are not meeting at one common point. So the answer will be, since the 3 lines do not intersect at a single point, the 3 objects never meet at the same point on the road. It simply means no. So let's see the correct answer. We have to write the statement as I write. Since the 3 lines do not intersect at a single point, the 3 objects The three objects never meet at the same point on the road. Never meet at the same point of the road. It simply means no, that these 3 points never met a common point at a single point. This means no, that no, these points doesn't meet at any single point or a common point. Okay, so let's see the C. Let's see C question. How far has C traveled when B passes A? Means they are asking that how far C was traveling when B passes A. Means C is traveling here, and when B passes through A, how was it far? So let's see the solution. So let's see the solution of C. They have asked that C is traveling, and when C is traveling, B passes through A. But when B passes through A, how much C was far? So let's see. Since there are 7 unit areas of the graph between 0 and 4 on the y-axis. Since there are 7 unit areas of the graph in between 0 and 4 on the y-axis. Means it's 0, and between 0 and 4 the object C is traveling. One graph unit equals 4 by 7 kilometer. Means there are 7 unit areas of the graph, and it's traveling between 0 and 4, so it will be 1 graph unit equals to 4 by 7 kilometer. Since the initial point of the object C is 4 graph units away from the origin, its initial distance from the origin is 4 into 4 by 7 kilometer. Means I spoke that there are 7 unit area of the graph. And in that C is traveling on y-axis between 0 and 4. I especially box this because C is traveling between these two units on y-axis. One graph unit equals to 4 by 7 kilometer. One graph unit equals to 4 by 7 kilometer. This is the simple word answer we have to write. Since the initial point of the object C is 4 graph units away from its origin, means the initial position is 4 graph units away from its origin. And you can also see that it's 4 graphs away, and in between the C is traveling, means it's 4 graph unit away, it's away from its origin. So it will be its initial distance from the origin will be 4 into 4 by 7 kilometer, which will be 16 divided by 7 kilometer. It's simple, it will be multiplied. 4 into 4 is 16 and 7 in it's divided by 7, so it will remain same. And when A passes B, the distance between the origin and C is 8 kilometer. The distance between the origin is 8 kilometer. Origin and C is equals to 8 kilometer. Okay. So therefore total distance traveled by C in this time it will be equal to 8 minus into whole 16 divided by 7 kilometer, means the total distance traveled by C is equals to 8 minus 16 divided by 7 will be equal to 5.71 kilometer. So this is our answer. So you have to do just like this only. If you are not doing like this, then your marks can be cut. So this is step by step I have solved, and you also have to solve it step by step only. So let's see D. How far has B traveled by the time it passes C? It's a question. How far has B traveled by the time it passes C? I have read this question 2 times. Why? Because they are asking that it's just like the question C, that how far B traveled, means B is traveling in his line by the time it passes C, means what time was taken when it passes C point. In short, they are asking like that. So let's see, it's short one, it's not longer answer, just like C. So let's see. Number D. The distance that object B has covered at the point where it passes C is equal to 9 graph units. Therefore, total distance travelled by B when it crosses C is equals to 9 into 4 by 7, which will be 5.1 kilometer. I have spoke the answer, but let me show you by writing and I will explain you. The distance that object B has covered. The distance which object B has covered at the point where it passes C at the point where it passes C is equal to 9 graph units, is equal to 9 graph units. Therefore, the total distance travelled by B when it crosses is equals to 9 into 4 by 7 is equals to 5.14 kilometer. Now in the previous question we saw that 1 graph unit is equals to 4 by 7 kilometer. So we have to put the value, simply put the value. that total distance traveled by B when it crosses C will be equal to 9 into 4 divided by 7, which will be 5.14 kilometers. It's very simple. We have to write the distance which object B has covered at the point where it passes C is equals to 9 graph units. Okay, and in the last question we saw that 1 graph unit is equals to 4 upon 7 kilometer, and after that we put the 4 graph units and solve the question. So we have to just like that. Here 9 graph units are given, so 9 into 4 by 7, which is 5.14 kilometer. So guys, I hope that this video will help you to understand that how we solved question number 6 of this exercise of chapter 8 motion class 9. Okay, so important note for you that every time when it's number type, when it's question, so we have to find the solution of any question, and it's the solution of that question is in the number form. Number form means values are given and time, acceleration and all is given. Then we always have to write the given thing. If you are not writing the given thing, then your marks can be cut, because it's important to write the given thing. So in this question C, there are 7 unit area of the graph. C is traveling y axis between 0 and 4, and 1 graph unit is equal to 4 by 7 kilometer. So these 3 lines are the given things over here. So we wrote here the given things, and after that we solved the question. So guys, here comes the end of this video, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.